What up? What up? What up? What it is? What it do? You know who it is? Who are you? We back again with the 22 twos. Here for another quick hitter. But we're gonna actually reveal something we don't normally reveal. Today we are recording. It is Wednesday, April 10th. It is a sad day in the world of hip hop. We lost a great one. The finisher. He really was one of the originators. Started working with Big Daddy Kane. We lost Mr. Cee today. Instrumental in the career of Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Big presence in the hip hop world. And as New Yorkers, very big presence for us on the radio and just out and about. On a personal note, I gotta say, just being around the industry and knowing people, one of the purest souls that I ever met. You know what I'm saying? Really good dude. Wasn't never a time where he didn't show love, regardless if I was with somebody that was somebody to be with, or if I was on my own. Cee showed love. And it just always felt genuine. So, really big loss, and condolences go out to, his family, his close personal friends, but everyone that he's touched, not just those people. Really really good dude. So Mr. Clark Kent has a few words, he wants to say about the great legendary Mr. Cee.
Agreed, top of the in the 90s when we were little nigga growing up, listening at that 5 o'clock power hour, you hear Mr. Cee come on the radio, you start to spin and put on his set. You understood that he was representing Brooklyn and everything that we stood for in hip hop, and he had a tumultuous last couple of years, but the respect within the industry still remained for what he brought to the DJ culture. You know what I mean? Being an originator of Big Dog Pitbulls. I know they lost a great one. Shout out to Cee. He'll always rest in power. Salute.
Yeah. Sir, when you think of Hot 97, Mr. Cee, Funk Flex.
The finisher, yeah. Mr. Cee.
Yeah, two of the biggest names. So, we lost the legends today. So,
rest in power, bro.
Thoughts and prayers to the family.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But moving on to a little lighter note, fellas. This past weekend we had the NCAA Final Four, men's and women's. But more importantly, what do they play for? The championship, right? Championship games. South Carolina versus Iowa on the women's end. Purdue versus UConn on the men's end. Definitely want to talk to you guys. Get your thoughts. I'll give some real quick, just right off the top. I don't remember another dominant run in recent history than UConn did. They covered the spread in every single game in the tournament, going 6-0 against the spread, just winning, just whatever it is, 6.5, 11.5, win by double digits, win by single digits. Like, it just didn't matter. That group was, had elite coaching. They were really good on defense. They spread the ball around on offense. They pretty much did everything you wanted, right? And in the first half of their games, when things look like they might be close, you never know when they go on a 30-0 run or a 15-0 run and just blow the game open. And, you can kind of see when the other team just looks defeated, and it's just like, yeah, they just have too much. They're hitting us from all angles. No Diddy. They're throwing the ball down low. They're clinging. He's finishing. Guys are hitting threes. So shout out to them. And, on the women's side, Caitlin Clark did everything she could. Right, she had to try to create, she had to try to score, but Raven Johnson was in her pocket the whole game. This was literally I know we were talking about Iowa LSU the week before, but this was the revenge game in South Carolina. They're like, nah, we about to get this girl. Yeah, like we about to be in her pocket. Like, we're gonna make it extremely difficult for her to score. While she did still finish with 30 points, she took 28 shots to get them. A lot of tough looks. Had to go to the foul line a lot. She hit 5 threes, took 13 of them. So they made it really hard on her. And at the end of the day, Camila Cardozo, I mean, what are you gonna do? Big girl down low, taking on Hannah Stokey, just muscle down there, just getting the putbacks, getting the and ones, getting the rebounds.
Too.
I think she had 15 and 17. So shout out to her. Shout out to those girls. Shout out to Dawn Staley, Louis Vuitton Dawn, right? Just doing her thing. One of the legends has stamped her name in the history books. So I'm gonna kick it to you, Clark Kent, first to give me your thoughts on those two matchups. Mainly we were talking about Caitlin Clark and Zach Edey on the men's side. Of course, there's been a lot of chatter about how they'll level up onto the next level. Does Zach Edey's game translate? How will Caitlin Clark fare against the vets in the WNBA? They're not going to make it easy for her.
Not at all. And I think that her game translates because of her ability to hit outside shots, her range, and to be able to create from the outside, working inside. And she's an excellent pick and roll player. With her skill set, she's going to be able to translate seamlessly in the WNBA. Yeah. Now, as for Edey, on the other hand, his skill set needs to develop in terms of him as a perimeter player and being able to play in the pick and roll. Yes, he has length. That's the pause that'll be able to put him in position to make plays on the defensive end. But in terms of translating to the NBA game, it's going to be a learning curve for him because, again, like I said, put him in a blender and pick and roll defense. That's what the NBA is. It's drop coverage, pick and roll, how well you can recover, how fleet of foot you can be in those situations, and teams are going to take advantage of him in the early goings. But to a point to the conversation that we had earlier, we were talking about Brooke Lopez, his ability to adjust and be a defensive presence, in those kinds of situations is gonna, show and tell the tale of his impact as he comes into the league. It's a question of where he's gonna end up in the NBA draft and who picks him up as to where his success is gonna be dictated. But he played his ass off in the NCAA tournament, and he proved a lot of people who felt like he wasn't good enough to be able to get the job done. He said it in a couple of presses. So I like his game. Time will tell if he's able to carry that over the NBA, but I think that with his work ethic and that chip on his shoulder, that over time he will be the guy that everybody thinks that he could be in the league.
Darnell, being our main college correspondent, I know you heavier on the football side. You got all the details there, so everybody tap in when we talk about these NFL draft prospects. But in terms of the Final Four and, what we saw on both sides, the women's game was obviously more popular than the men's game this time around. They attracted way more viewers than the men's final did this year. Is that a trend you see moving forward consistently, or do you expect it to kind of even out as we move along?
I think eventually what it'll be, it'll level out. I think right now the men's game, I think we got to really shout out UConn, man. UConn has won 6 national championships in the last 25 years. That is a staggering. That is
bluest of blue bloods.
That is a staggering feat.
That's different.
That's different, because we think about it, right? I think Duke probably has 2 in the last 20-something years. Kentucky's got like maybe 1. I don't think UCLA has had any. Indiana, Notre Dame. So we got to really shout out that program. And I mean, I don't know if you guys have been to Connecticut, but I've been to Connecticut a couple of times, and it's like nothing out there.
But it's a testament.
Connecticut.
To me, it's more of a testament. And I'm sorry to cut you off. It's more
no, that's all good. Yeah, jump in.
More of a testament to the pause. It's more of a testament to the administration.
Administration.
I had to pause it for him.
Well, we keep it. I'm keeping the tally. That's 2.
Yeah, that's 2. Okay.
It's more of a testament. It's more of a testament to the administration than anything because it's 6 in the last 25 years, and it's not all the same coach. Which is the other part that's like, a lot of times you get these programs where it's like
the one
coach is taking this team.
Yeah.
And doing it. They've done it with multiple coaches, which is amazing.
Yep. So, so I say just shout out to them. As far as it goes, like the trend, I think it'll even out. I think men's basketball, and I said this whole NIL thing is just something that's going to be part of the game. The women, of course, marketability is there, and there is a great attention for it. I got to see when Caitlin Clark leaves, we got to see how the Juju, how Paige, how what's the young woman?
Hannah.
Yeah, the one from Notre Dame, like how that's really gonna pan out, because college basketball as a whole has been going down this road for a long time, but there's no other sport that controls a month, probably a month and a half, if you really think about it, with the tournaments and all the conference tournaments. So the men's will get back, I think, eventually, once the NIL kind of evens out, and once we just get more recognizable players, and I think once the blue bloods come back, like right now, once oh my gosh, she's going to Duke. I think that's going to be huge for the NCAA. Cole, oh my gosh, I forgot his name. His name just slipped me. But he's like a huge prospect. He's we
was all just trying to see if you can get it.
You Cooper Flag?
Cooper Flag. Flag.
We was all trying to see if you can get it because we all knew you said he was going to Duke.
So Cooper Flag going to Duke. That's gonna be huge.
Watch that man struggle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
So it's all right. It's all good. But yeah. So we'll not Cole Beasley. Come on, cut it out. But yeah, but I think right now I said the NCAA is kind of going through this. It's going through a remodification. Men's especially, when they have to really see, hey, what's going to happen, what's transferable, and this money is going to get bigger and bigger with all of these contracts coming out. With all these TV deals, the NCAA tournament, even though the women's were bigger than the men's, you still had a lot of people viewing it. I was watching that first game tip off at 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning. So it's going to happen, eventually. So that's what I was saying.
If you was doing that, how you making money, man?
What?
How you make your money?
We won't talk about that.
You want to talk about that, man?
Just kidding.
Maneuvers.
Get your hand on my pockets.
Do you think South Carolina can repeat, and do you think UConn can pull off an unprecedented three-peat?
All right, so this is a loaded question. Do I think that South Carolina can repeat? In short, I say no. Do I think UConn can pull off an unprecedented three-peat? I would say yes. No surprise here. For the most part, I disagree with my colleagues here on their stance on things. I think.
How so?
For the most part,
you wouldn't be an individual if you didn't.
I wouldn't, for the most part. I think what I do agree with what you said, Darnell, is that I think we're in this weird space in college sports, and I think coaches and administrations and they're all trying to figure out how they're gonna govern and coach and do the different things with these new athletes and the new deals and things of that nature. I think what jumps out to me is, going back to the question, here's why I think UConn could possibly three-peat, because I think Coach Hurley has figured out something before all these other coaches have figured it out. Right? He's coaching his players. He is coaching his players, and because he's coaching his players, it reflects during the games.
They seem so unselfish. No one is out there for self.
As opposed to, the John Calipari's of the world. I'm gonna go out and get the most talented guys, and throw them on the court.
It's a C-bomb.
And I don't have to coach them that much because they're great players.
He's not wrong.
Wrong. And that's why he wasn't a success.
Yeah.
In Kentucky, there's no reason that you have something like 40 first-round draft picks and one national title. That means that you didn't do a good job with coaching.
Yeah, like the top 5, top 10 McDonald's every year.
So you see Coach Hurley. He goes out. He goes to the portal. He recruits well. He brings these guys in, and they play a team game. And I think I don't want to give him all the credit and saying that he's figured it out before all the other guys. I think he kind of saw what Jay Wright did and said, this could work. Get a team, coach a team. I don't have to have the #1 recruiting class. I just got to have guys that play well together in our coaching
and play hard.
Let's get some skilled guys that are gonna run through the wall for me.
Yeah. So that's why I think UConn. I think UConn's got the model down. I definitely think they can repeat. I don't think South Carolina can repeat. And just to touch on all the things that I agree and disagree with, I do think Caitlin Clark, her game will travel with her to WNBA, but I don't think that it's gonna be what people think it is.
Yeah. Hey, don't be a subvert. Don't be a subvert.
Not to go too far into the rabbit hole, but what do you mean by that?
It's some grown women. There's some grown women in the WNBA. And I say it like this, and this is I always say, when I play college football, every dude.
God, here come the Al Bundy stories.
Every dude in college. 4
touchdowns in a single game.
No, I did. Every guy.
I'm gonna throw that ball over the mountains.
All right, hold on. On a serious note, though, and this is the reality of what sports is. For anybody who doesn't know, everybody in college was the best player in their school.
Yeah.
Everybody in the league was like the best player. They was the best player in their state or in their country. Yeah. So and let's not get it twisted. Caitlin Clark played in Iowa. The competition in her conference wasn't like out of this world. Some of these people are gonna.
Big Ten has some good teams.
Most of the girls that she played against are gonna be psychologists or.
Bro, she went to the chip back-to-back years.
Hey, my wife's a psychologist.
Yeah, I'm saying what I'm saying. They're not. They're professional. When she gets to the WNBA, where she's playing against women who are the best of the best. The best 140, the best 140 some women basketball players in the world. She's gonna play well, but she's not gonna have the space. She's not gonna be able to create the space that she might, but she's got to learn how to take advantage of the fact that she's got a Leah Boston on her team. That is the one thing that's gonna work in her favor. She's got to take advantage of that fact. Don't go in there and try to be Caitlin Clark. Go in there and be Scottie Pippen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I think the game will come to her, and it's like Zach Edey, forget about it. The minute he step on the NBA court, Joel Embiid is gonna cook him.
But that's okay. But this is what I'm trying to say, right? And as we look at the about to be three-time MVP and Joker. When he first came in the league, he wasn't like that. He was not like this. You know what I'm saying? And Edey, you could say, and you could line him up. He's
got a big ass chip on his shoulder.
Who?
Huge.
Yes, Edey. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about I'm the 2-time Naismith winner, and you guys are just throwing me to the side like I can't play. You know, like how I can't develop my game and I can't be this. Give him a few years, bro. You just never know. You know, but the one thing, I'm gonna go
take us home.
I'm gonna go over this rant right now.
Go ahead and cook, bro. Cook. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I am sick and tired of the NBA, this whole situation of just completely getting rid of big men. To me, it is outrageous, and we're looking at it right now. The top 4 teams in the NBA right now.
Well, clean that up real quick. You mean traditional big men?
Traditional big men. You know what I'm saying? Like
they're the biggest bust.
no, it's not even that. I mean, look,
They are the
top four. The top four teams in the NBA right now all have dominant big men right now.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but the
That's been
vast
the last
majority,
how many years?
the vast majority of those traditional big men that you're talking about that get drafted high are bust.
Give me the wait first. All right, let me push
okay,
back real quick.
outside.
Give me those top 4 teams, because if we're gonna talk about Philly,
Minnesota.
we're gonna talk about Denver.
Yeah,
right?
Minnesota. I'm just saying, like top 4 in the conferences right now. You know, for the most part, they have.
Okay, Minnesota's biggest Rudy offensive game.
But it still got Carl. Carl's technically
he's not a traditional big man.
He's not a traditional.
But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it's a stretch. But what I'm saying is, like, it's the small ball concept that came about, but we just don't really use the big man as much.
It's not a small ball. It's not a small.
You need versatile big men now.
Yeah, big men need to stretch the floor.
I'm not hit a 3-pointer. What I'm saying is getting rid of them though. How they saying like how this guy was not. He can't. They're saying how he can't.
You gotta be. You gotta. You're not. It's not getting rid of them. You gotta be
great.
That. You gotta be that good.
But okay, so you don't think Edey can't eventually get better and become.
If I
he
was
can get better.
A GM,
his ceiling is not Embiid though.
If I was a GM, I'm not risking my job on Edey.
No, he'd be a late round draft pick. He's not gonna be like a top.
But I'm not picking him, period, because one is everything that we're talking about now is game translating. 2 is like 7-4 injury concerns. Like that's the other thing. Like all these like big.
Y'all ever heard of a dude named DeAndre Ayton?
I mean, you can name him. You can name him. Greg Oden was supposed to be the next coming of every big man ever. And
injuries. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was we do not speak that name.
That was rough. That injuries was rough. Yeah, that's
well, fellas. Anyhow you take it, Final Four is over. Championships are done. Shout out to South Carolina women's basketball. Shout out to UConn men's basketball. We play this game to win it all. We play this game to win championships. They say whenever you win a championship, you never apologize for the route you've taken to get there. Doesn't matter if the other teams had injuries. Doesn't matter if, something happened along the way where they couldn't compete to the best of their powers. The point is, you did all the work. You did all the practicing. You got all the coaching, and you won. We don't apologize for those championships.